Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Coffee Chat. I'm Sherry Smeraglia, and I'm here with Carol Tuberville today. I have Dana behind the camera and Will. So, everybody, welcome, and hopefully you have a moment to sit down and join us because we have some catching up to do.
We do.
What's been going on?
It has been. It's been a busy day. What did Sam said to me earlier today? I think she said that today has been the longest week.
Today, okay, I got it. Well, I woke up today like so excited because today is a day that we have been anticipating a puppy move. Here at Smeraglia, we're always trying to better everything that we do and do it with more excellence. And so when you're dealing with dogs and you have facilities, you have to rotate. Mm-hmm. You have to constantly update and constantly rotate. It's kind of like the Disney World mentality. You know, you have millions of people coming through Disney World every day. Mm-hmm. And when we were reading about what goes on behind the scene, it's every night they come in, they clean the streets, they touch up paint, they do everything every day, because if you don't stay on top of it every single day, mm-hmm. then what happens is it really can get out of hand fast. But with dogs, it's hard to do it every single day because you can't bring toxins in, you can't bring paint and update. So you have to schedule a time and you have to make a plan, and it is like putting a puzzle together or the domino effect, right?
Yeah,
which one do you feel like it's
I feel like it's, so like my generation and your Christmas stocking, you got that little flat slider puzzle where it was one opening and you had to create the picture by moving one piece at a time. Yeah. That's what I feel it is, because it's like we've got to create an empty area, get that clean, touched up, and then move into it. Then create a new empty area that we clean and touch up. So it's like this constant rotation.
Yeah, so it's like we have this area that we call medical, and then we have cottage and nursery, and then we have grooming areas. We have just all these different workspaces. Well, it was time to empty the medical, so we had to get the groomers out, make sure the breeding area was now relocated. Okay, paint, redo everything from top to bottom, and I love it when you go in and it's fresh paint and it's clean and you're finding little things. Like 5 minutes before I sat down, we had a plumbing issue and we had to figure out where we're going to put the bathtub because where we want to do it is leaking. But at the end of the day, everything's going to be turned upside down and moved. Puppies are coming to a new location, the cottage puppies. That's a puppy 7 weeks and older.
Correct.
So they get a new location, and then once their location now is empty, then we go in and we just renovate that area because now it's empty. And so once we get that perfect, it's like vision happens.
It is.
You walk into a new empty area and you're like, okay. And they're always terrified of what I'm going to do. I start seeing the vision. Like, oh, I see it. We can do this now.
And not only are we're not so terrified of your vision, we're terrified of you coming in as the vision's already started and getting a new vision.
Okay, I see
Which does happen.
It does.
Yeah. And if you guys are here and have any comments, please comment. Please
let us know you're here.
Yeah, because Dana will communicate to us any comments that you guys have. But that's what I do. So I'm real excited. I walked out of there today and I'm saying, cannot wait to see the puppies here. Because this location is like right at my back door. Mm-hmm. And I love the puppies. The closer, the better, you know. So I'm going to be like running in and there all night long and stuff. It'll be so much fun. It'll be fun. And then once that's done, then we're getting a new nursery. And then the nursery moves. And then where the nursery is, it'll be all renovated, and then the puppies now where they are will go probably there, and then where we are now, see, it's just a cycle because you have to keep this one empty space.
Yes, and that one empty space is renovated for the next thing to move, and then that way then we're in this constant cycle of
keeping it clean,
keeping it sanitized, and updating, because anybody who lives in a house knows, if I could have built this, I would have done this differently. Yeah. I would have done this instead. Well, every time we get into a new area, we update it, we do it better.
Paint it, just make sure everything is clean. There's new materials that come out.
It is.
So like if you put a board down years ago, now you've got a new board that's made this way. And it's like, we always want the better board, you know, something that is more hard plastic instead of wood, because that it can harbor germs and smells and bacteria. And
even just the workflow type stuff. So it's like, once you're in an area and working in it, then, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. So when you're in there, you kind of go, you know what, I really wish I had this. Well, you know what, next time we build it, we will make sure we have this, whatever.
And they know I am social media queen over here. So I'm like, oh, it's got to look good.
Yep.
It's got to feel good. It's got to flow, because I want to be able to have my camera in here. I want to be able to photograph, and it's got to feel right. The lighting's got to be right, everything. So they have to think about things that really don't matter to them.
But a great example of that is like when we first walked through that light over the sink. We were talking, that light can stay, just clean it up so it looks good on camera. They can't clean it up. And so since they can't, now the decision's been made, we got to take it down and put a different one up so it's social media ready. Yeah,
it's like it was pretty stainless, but it didn't stainless. It started getting this like...
just for moisture, little rust spots on it.
Rust spots, and I'm like, get that off. Get that Rust-Oleum and clean it up. And they're like, well, we can't. So, hey, I am OCD. They know, even down to the drawers. I'm like, who put stickers on the drawer and wrote on it with a Sharpie? I'm like, we don't do that. So get all the stickers off, clean it up. I mean, but it's about excellence in everything you do. And you do what you can do, the best you can do with what you have. And we always do that.
But what you're describing is one of the things that I think is so great about
my nose.
Is so great about the company and the way that you set it up, because you know, when you walk through, you're looking at everything at every level.
I'm looking from the top to the bottom, not just the puppies.
So, but like the team is thinking about their workflow and the puppies, but then you have your social media and marketing team that's thinking of things in terms of that lane. We have our adoption team who's thinking of things in terms of that lane.
Right.
We have our hostesses that think in terms of that. And it's really great and a great way to do things, because one of the things I find myself saying to the clients a lot is, you know, our puppies deserve people that give them 100% of their focus.
Right.
Our clients deserve people who get 100% of the focus. Well, if you have somebody that's trying to take care of clients and puppies at the same time, somebody's taking a back seat, and no one deserves that. So the way you set things up within the company itself means that everything gets people that give it 100% when they're in front of it, for sure.
That's right. So that's happening. Now let's say, yes, we have any comments?
Yes, it's April with Dublin Labs. She said, it sounds very exciting. Looking forward to the Doodle Romp, and we are too, April.
Yes, y'all are all fixing to get a text tomorrow. Dana was just having us critique it, make sure it looked good. So y'all are getting your first text tomorrow. So go ahead when you get it. Add it to your contacts and change the name to Doodle Romp text.
Oh,
that's what I do. When I get those like number texts, I always change them so I know when they come through. Like a coupon. I have a Ralph Lauren coupon. It always comes through as like 8335 or something.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm changing that. You know, I like the name of it.
I never do that. I'm the worst where I have to search for somebody's name where they went, hi, this is so-and-so. And I still have their phone number in there. I'm the worst about saving contacts.
I do it. I like to do that. So anyway, y'all will be getting that. Yeah.
And Debbie Riddle says, love, excellence. Anything worth doing should be done right.
Absolutely.
Right. You do whatever. And what you can do with excellence today with what you have, the means that you have, and the tools that you have, or the finances that you have, you do it that way. But then, you know, a few years, our puppies have only been in their location where they are now since 2019. And that was brand new in 2019. Yes. So think about that. That is 1920, 21, 22. This is not even 2023, over 3.5, 4 years, and it's already time. They got to go. We got to move them out, because we have to go in, and we got to sanitize and clean and do it without all the babies in there. Because one thing we're learning that is critical and crucial is to be careful about the aerosols and the cleaners and the things that we use. You don't realize when you're dealing with infants or puppies or young animals, you have to be so careful. We've recently made some major changes in our nursery that have been the best changes we've made in years.
Yeah, so we actually learned
with cleaners and stuff.
Yeah, with cleaners for sure. So one of the things that a lot of people, and you guys may know this, but if you use like harsh cleaners on your floor, and I see the picture posted all the time of the doodles and the frog splat, laid back. Well, that belly is coming in contact with a floor that may have some pretty harsh chemicals in it. Well, over time, especially if you think about a baby, like a puppy, a newborn, whose baby's only ever on that type surface, they potentially can absorb those toxins, and that's an issue. So we have to be very mindful of the products that we use to clean and how we do that, because we don't want to have that going on with our puppies.
Yes, and the greatest thing you can use is just straight up steam. You know, just get you a steamer and keep things done, and it's safe. It's the safest thing.
It is. And hey, there's a reason why when you get sick, you get a fever. It's because that's God's way of cooking that virus away.
That's right.
Steam will kill just about anything.
Yeah. So, okay. So today is Tuesday. So this is one of your client call days. So what's some of the top calls you've been getting from our clients?
So I tell you a theme that we're hearing, and with Doodle Romp coming up, it's probably good to know about this, is how do you determine appropriate play versus, I did not tell my phone to
that's okay.
appropriate play versus inappropriate play, and what do you do about it?
Yeah, so that's a big one. I'm dealing with that too now.
First, me too. And one of the things I was thinking about, so I have, I don't have, Charles has Tux, who is about a 9-month-old, intact male doodle, and he acts it.
He is going to be in our breeding program. Absolutely gorgeous, but they are, I guess, what would we say, guardian him. He's being over there hanging out with them because you know what? He's not even in his breeding years right now. And even if he is, you don't breed all the time. So, hey, it works out.
Yeah, and Charles, he's got a personality that meshes with Charles really, really well.
Really?
Charles likes those like challenging dogs. He likes those. He has a nickname Doofus because he is an absolute doofus.
That sounds like a very goofy dog.
He is. He is so silly, so goofy, but a topic for another day is early spay neuters, why we recommend it. He is an intact adolescent male, and he's acting like it right now. And one of those things is he's being a little bit of a, lack of a better way to put it, jerk when he's playing.
Oh, because he's in the adolescence age. And I know a lot of you probably are going through that. Your puppies go through the adolescent phase. You can actually go to our website under the temperament, and it's got all the different phases, and you're not the boss of me phase.
Yes. And
it's a real one.
He is in that, and so he gets in times where he is doing what would be considered inappropriate play with Karis, who is a retired parent dog that I have. She is 13, and so much, much older and much, much smaller than him, and inappropriate play with my cats. And so I'm kind of working with that some too. And so here's the test. Here's how you determine appropriate versus inappropriate. We always call it the bully test. You remove the dog that you think is being the bully. So if Tux is playing with Karis and it looks like it's getting a little inappropriate, I'll grab Tux and kind of pull him out of the situation. Now I'm going to watch Karis. Does she continue coming with Tux to continue the game? Like she was
picking at him,
it?
Playing, barking, doing
then
all
she
the
was
things.
enjoying the interaction and wanted to keep playing.
Right.
Or does Karis go, shake, and then walk off? When she shakes,
I've been rescued.
Yes, she's shaking off the stress and then walking off. That meant, I was not having fun with this game. Thank you. I'm glad that you grabbed him. So the bully test is a great way to tell if your dog is having fun with the interaction or is not. You remove the dog you think is being the bully, and then you just watch the behavior of the other dog. Now, if you have a dog like Tux who is being a bully, what we're working with him right now, and Charles too, is we're working with him on a really, really good and solid leave it command and a very, very good and solid recall. And so that means right now when he has these moments of trying to play a lot, like with Karis, a little bit too rough, he's on a long leash, and then we tell him leave it. And if he doesn't, the leash gets a little bit shorter where she's just out of range. He keeps trying to play with her, but as soon as he makes the right choice to leave it and look back at us, now we can reinforce him, tell him he did a great job. Because he's in that you are not the boss of me phase, he typically, as soon as we tell him he was a good boy, he goes, all right, I did good. And then he goes right back to try to get to Karis. That's where that leash comes in. And then we can tell him, no, come. and make him recall back to us. So we're having to actually train the situation we're seeing. It's great to practice that leave it command over here with nothing going on, but then you need to practice it in that situation where you need
So we
it.
have the reverse going on. We have a little, 10-pound new puppy. Her name is Lemon, and she has got razor sharp teeth because, they're just puppy teeth.
Yep.
And Moo is like, 3 years old, and London's 13, and Fletcher is 4. And she's up in the house now running around, and she's just like wanting to have fun. She wants to grab their ears, grab their tails. Well, London puts her in her place real quick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But what was so funny was London does not put up with the puppies. She gave it to her, like she snarled at her, snapped at her, and I was like, she needed that. And Lemon looked at her like, who do you think you are? You did not just do that. And I thought, oh, look at her. But Moo, on the other hand, jumps up on the bed and looks at Natalie like,
Are you going to do something about this?
this little sister is what you gave me? So I told Natalie, I said, she's got to go. She's got to have training. You cannot just let her run wild. And so, of course, she went to 4 weeks of school, but now she's in a new dynamic. And, Natalie's 18. Fixing to be 19. She's 19 now. Friday, she's 19. Just to know, just so everybody knows. And, but I feel like during the day, Natalie's working. So now when Charles goes, they come to pick up Fletcher for school. Guess who's going to school every day? Lemon's going to school. She's got to learn manners. And I was like, she's got to learn this strong leave it command. And then Natalie can practice that at night on the long leave. So she's coming home every day.
And one of the things with Lemon that will make it easier, so one of the things I talk to you guys about a lot is, because a lot of you guys run into, you get a new puppy home and he's just too much for your older dog that's there. Well, that's because your puppy has something called, like affectionately called a puppy card. And so in order, like just from early on with dogs, just ethology of dogs, it's basically in order to practice all the muscle movements, in order to practice all the things that they need to be adult dogs, like stalking prey and pouncing and all of those things, they have to practice all of those movements. And the only place a puppy can practice that is with the adult members of their pack. Now, obviously, these are domestic dogs. They don't live in dog packs anymore.
Right.
But a lot of these behaviors are still lingering. So your puppy will practice stalking, pouncing, shaking. They'll get a toy and just shake it because they're going to
and I love watching them do it.
Oh, it's so much
cute.
fun to watch. But even like play, they'll practice the, ooh, I'm the big dominant one, and then get them and pin them down. And then you'll play, the adult will play pinning the puppy down. They'll practice and play going through the motions of humping or being humped. They're not doing it. It's literally just practicing the motor movements and learning those motor skills of being an adult dog. Well, prior to 6 months of age, around 6 months of age, your puppy has a puppy card, which means most adult dogs kind of give them license to do whatever the heck they want to because they need to practice all that.
Yeah.
Now, you reach a point where that puppy card gets cashed in, and all of a sudden, whoop, everything changes. And Moo
You're
will
not
start.
a puppy anymore.
Yeah.
You're an adult.
So you'll see Moo and Fletcher start putting her in her place once that puppy card's cashed
London
in.
doesn't.
She doesn't have a card.
Yeah, London
didn't give her the puppy
London
card.
doesn't give anybody
She
a
doesn't
puppy
give
card.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
London's like, I've already been there, done that.
I'm puppy
over it.
carded out.
Yes. And so Tux has cashed in his puppy card at 9 months old. And so, but he's now too big for Karis to put him in his place. Fletcher will put him in his place and he needs that. But Lemon will get that later on. And for a lot of you guys, when your puppies get home, let your adult dogs establish
Let them
those
do
boundaries.
it. I just sit back and let them work it out. Nobody's going to hurt. They're not going to hurt the puppy.
No, not typically. And your puppy's not going to hurt your adult dog typically
No.
either. That's just not the norm. But you can also do the bully test. If you think the puppy was being a bully, pull them away. Usually you're going to find the adult dog is coming with them because the adult dog's taking on the role of, hey, I'm teaching this puppy. I'm letting them do this so that they can learn. And that's all okay also. And that actually is one of the most frequent phone calls that we get both through prep school and here for people who don't do prep school. It is, oh my gosh, I have a puppy. I have an adult dog. I think my
Yeah.
puppy's playing too rough. So that's kind of for you guys to know. As long as they have that puppy card, card, they're supposed to be practicing all of those
But
things.
that's also, you don't have to be the owner of 2 dogs living under the same roof. This can be your puppy and your friend's dog getting together and having a play date, or at the dog park or wherever. You still can do the exact same behavior with any dog, even if it's a friend or a stranger dog. You'll figure out if your dog is afraid and intimidated, or if they're going to run right back. Just go back and go back, and it's like, I'm not through. I want some more of that action.
Yes, and absolutely. The bully test is the great way to see if your dog was having fun or maybe not so much fun. But a great recall and a great leave it command are the best ways to make sure if your dog is being the one like Tux that's a little bit of a bully.
And
recall
Lemon's learned the leave it command. She went 4 weeks to school. She knows leave it, and she knows nope. And so I'm so thankful that she does have that foundation, and I can say, nope, leave it, nope. And she'll sit down, she'll plop down.
Pout.
She just looks at me. She's real confident. She just looks at me like, what do you mean, nope? It's just like you can read her mind. Like,
Yes.
I don't want to know.
She's very sassy.
She is so sassy.
Tux does that too. He does that. Like he'll recall and he'll look at you and then he'll go. And then go back, and you're like, no, sir, we are not doing that.
They
right
are
now.
just like children. So, Dana, any other comments? Okay. Well, that's really good information, though. You know, we also had that exact same scenario last year when we brought home Disco and Ivy.
Oh, yes.
He was just like a puppy doing the exact same thing, and he's our Frisian horse. And I forget what Ivy is. I think she's a quarter horse.
I do. Yeah, she's a quarter horse.
And she's like an older horse. And it was like, when we bring this baby in, he's as big as her. He is huge. And you know, when she first looks at him, horses don't automatically know, from what I've observed, if it's a baby or not, until they do this baby thing. Like, they start making this like sound, and you can see her went, oh no, you did not give me a baby.
I got to deal with this.
I have raised enough babies. We didn't raise ponies with her, but I know she did, and she was a great mom, but she was over that. But he just was wanting to be right underneath her, and she was going to be fine until she found out he was a baby. And then she was like kicking him, and putting him in his place.
But that's exactly it. The thing is,
he was biting her and doing all kind of things to
well, but
her.
same as what we're saying with the adult dog. So your adult dog instinctively knows that your puppy has to learn certain lessons. So did Ivy. She instinctively knows that Disco needed to learn certain lessons, and because he was a baby, he didn't come to her already knowing it. So she's like, "Oh, I got a baby. I got to raise and deal with."
And she's done a good job putting him in his place. But it wasn't until we got him neutered that those behaviors got under control. And I think that's the same thing with our dogs. You know, you've got to get them spay and neutered, and that's why early spay and neuter. I know a lot of people have an issue with it, and they think it's unethical or wrong, or judge us as being a bad breeder, because we want to spay and neuter our puppies early. But guys, the new science is changing, so maybe some of the older vets, they're not hearing what's happening in schools. And
there's a lot of back and forth. So there's a lot of new research, and this is definitely a topic for another day.
We're just
it's a hot
bleaching
one.
it.
But there's a lot of new research that's indicating that there may be some health benefits to waiting and spaying, neutering your dog after they've reached sexual maturity. And this is my response to that whenever anybody asks. And again, we can go more in depth. The problem is the new research doesn't take away the old research that to us just carries a lot more weight. Because ultimately, even if your dog does develop a ligament injury because they were spayed or neutered early, most people are not going to return their dog to us because of a ligament injury. They're not going to take their dog to a shelter because of a ligament injury. But they will return a dog or take it to a shelter over behavioral issues, not being house trained.
Number one reason dogs lose their families and get turned over to shelters or gotten rid of is because of behavior.
And the behavioral issues, just like we saw with Disco the horse, is unneutered, and like I'm seeing with Tux right now, unneutered male dogs, they definitely can have some behavioral stuff going on. And we twice this year have gotten returns on male dogs who were not neutered pre-puberty. They were dealing with behavioral issues related to still being intact. We neutered the dog completely, was like a personality lift.
It is.
And
it's
it does
amazing.
a complete 180 on their whole personality.
It's funny, not a facelift, a personality lift.
Yes. We remove one thing and we put their brain back in.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, we removed two things. You're right, Dave.
There you go. But they're great. And that's why once you spay or neuter them, you pretty much desex your dog. And it really doesn't matter if they're male or female because they're just good. They're just much better.
Yeah, behaviorally it does make a difference. And again, that's something
That's
where
a whole nother topic.
you guys post comments to it, but it's definitely a topic we can get
We're
into
just
another
chatting.
day.
This is coffee chat, just whatever comes up. And we have to kind of go with what's happening in our day and in our week right now.
Yes.
So anything else major going on with you? Anything happening with other clients that a topic we need to talk about or they need to know about?
Probably not so much. We've got some of the normal stuff, I think. Just people getting new puppies, adopting puppies from prep school. We've got, the coming and going that is always going on every single week. We are entering fall. Our dogs are so much more active this week. They're so happy that it's cooler. I think we were in the 50s some this week.
I know, we've had some great weather. Oh, and Carol said right before we sat down that she turned over the list that we went over to the front office.
Sure did.
Yeah, that we have new retiring dogs. And so what we're going to start doing is we're going to really get this list where if we know they're retiring in 2024, which is 6 months from now. 6 months from now is April, okay? If we know they're going to be retiring in April, we're going to start letting everybody know now for 2024 dogs. So you can say, hey, I know she might be pregnant now. She might be going to deliver, and then she's going to wean her puppies, and then she's going to spay, and then she's going to be available. We're going to go ahead and kind of give you guys a heads up on that so that you guys can know who you're getting and get prepared for them 6 months out. And I love that. So we got a new list.
And some of you guys who were already on the list, Sabrina is working on, I think, offering you guys today. I know she made a couple of requests for new media. I literally gave her the list today, and she made requests for media today. So you guys will have some offers this week.
I love almost every gotcha day now. It's mainly, Thursdays and Fridays are kind of busier gotcha days, but I'm seeing, a lot of you guys picking up your parent dogs, and it's just so sweet to see them go home. Don't you love that?
I love it.
And just how they bond with their people.
There's a couple of them, though, that I'm like, oh, I don't want that one.
They do.
I always feel that way, though, anytime we turn in the list. So.
I know, but it's what makes the
our
world
process.
go round here, and there's different phases and different stages for different people. And I love the phase that the dogs are in. And I love seeing them bond and match with people in their exact same phase. A lot of retired families getting retired dogs.
Oh, yeah. I do like seeing that. Now, some of this, there are some younger ones on this list like we talked about last week.
Yeah.
And two reasons for that. One is we're going smaller. Like Sherry's been saying the last...
We're downsizing a bit.
We're downsizing in terms of the size of dogs. So we're not making as many large litters as what we've done in the past. We're making more small and extra small litters.
Small, medium, and extra small, because it just seems the tendency of the clients in the wait list, that's kind of the tendency. Now, we will always have larges, but we just are the ratio. So because of that, we're going to go ahead and retire some of our dogs that only produce large.
Right. So our girls, this is kind of a cool topic, is that so the girls, even a large girl can breed to a smaller boy and make mediums. But a large boy can only breed to a large girl. You can't breed a large boy to a tiny girl.
No, it wouldn't be so.
So most of what was on this list is bigger boys that are right around that 50-pound plus range, because it's just something because we're scaling back on the largest, we don't need as many of them.
That's right. So, hey, it's opportunity for you guys.
Yes.
So always call, ask questions, check it out. Eventually, we might even add a link on our page for retired parent dogs.
Yeah.
Just have a page where we post them.
But like you said in previous weeks, if you've got your eye on one, or like if you have a puppy and you're thinking you would love to have that parent, go ahead and let the office know as you're going through the adoption process, because once that parent comes available, they'll reach back out to you and let you know.
All right, guys. Well, this has been a great coffee chat. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. My coffee needs to be warmed up now because I cannot stand cold coffee unless it's iced coffee. I heat up my coffee like 5 times before I finish it. I know you don't do coffee.
I don't do coffee.
But I'm like, if it gets even a little bit, I have one of those cups that keeps it hot, most of the time. But anyway, I'm a microwaver. Put it in, heat it up.
This is my afternoon caffeine, though. It's just
what you drinking? The ice?
Yeah,
drink?
so it's a sparkling ice with caffeine.
Okay, you needed that.
But it's not wine. I just could only find a wine glass.
I mean, All right, guys, you have a wonderful day, and we will be back this afternoon. I think Meredith and I have a couple of surprises up our sleeve, okay? All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.